The death of Raila Odinga has shaken the foundation of Kenya's political landscape, yet amid the grief and tears, it has sparked a new fire within the Orange Democratic Movement Party (ODM). At the heart of this awakening stand two youthful figures, Edwin Sifuna and Babu Owino, who have suddenly become the face of a resurgent political force that could easily redefine opposition politics in the post-Raila era.
If you went to Baba with any problem, Baba didn't know how to say no. Baba would just tell you, yes, I will solve it. That was a father. I remember when we were with Mheshimiwa Junet. We were in Elgeyo Marakwet at Tolgo's house.
When Raila's body landed from India, thousands of mourners poured into Kasarani and Parliament to pay their last respects. But what caught many by surprise was not just the magnitude of the crowd, it was who they cheered for. The names echoing through the crowds were not those of long-serving politicians or veteran allies, but of Sifuna and Babu Owino, the new heroes of the movement. Sifuna, the ODM Secretary General, had traveled to India alongside other leaders to oversee the repatriation of Raila's body. When he arrived at Kasarani, the energy in the air shifted. The crowd erupted into wild cheers, waving flags and shouting his name as if he were a rock star returning home. His calm composure and ability to connect with the people spoke volumes. To many supporters, he embodied the voice of the ordinary Kenyan, firm, articulate and unafraid. His reception at Kasarani was more than just a welcome. It was a statement. It showed that the streets, once loyal to Raila alone, were ready to rally behind the next generation. But if Sifuna's moment was powerful, Babu Owino's was electric. From Parliament to Kasarani, the Embakasi East MP was the man of the moment. His arrival at Parliament turned heads as thousands who had gathered outside broke into chants of his name. The crowd, emotional and restless, surged forward, demanding to see him. Security teams were forced to call on him to calm the situation, and his presence alone restored order. It was a rare show of influence that underscored his connection with the youth, a group long considered disillusioned by politics. When the scene shifted to Kasarani, Babu Owino once again took the day. The crowd erupted into songs and dance at his appearance. They chanted his name, urging him to speak. Every wave of his hand drew louder cheers. For a man once dismissed as too radical, his transformation into a crowd magnet was unmistakable. He had become a symbol of defiance, energy, and political rebirth. Together, Sifuna and Babu Owino dominated a ceremony meant to mourn Raila, but ended up reigniting ODM's youthful heartbeat. Their chemistry with the people was natural and raw. Their appeal cut across social class, from university students to market women, from boda riders to professionals. The two seemed to represent what many Kenyans have long yearned for: leaders who speak truth without fear and connect directly with the frustrations of the people's daily life.
If you talk to many of these leaders in ODM and those who knew Mzee, some of us spoke to him as late as yesterday and he was okay. So we really didn't expect this, but we are taking it in stride as a...
At Statehouse, this spectacle did not go unnoticed. President Ruto and his handlers have every reason to be uneasy. Raila's passing was expected to create a political vacuum, perhaps giving Ruto an uneasy road to consolidate power. Instead, it has birthed a new generation of opposition leaders ready to challenge him on every front. Both Sifuna and Babu Owino have been openly critical of the so-called handshake politics that softened the opposition's edge. Their consistent resistance to compromise and the refusal to align with Ruto's political maneuvers have earned them respect among ODM loyalists. With Raila gone, they are now seen as the natural heirs of the people's struggle, not because of seniority, but because of connection.
Paul, I want to make a very special request, both as a leader in Nairobi and the SG of ODM. Our people must now stop going to Mama Ida's house because she's there alone and she's overwhelmed.
The energy seen at Kasarani was not just about mourning a fallen hero. It was the rebirth of the spirit that once drove Raila's mass movement. The chants, the flags, the fiery songs, they all carried a message. The people were ready for a new phase of resistance, one that speaks their language and fights their battles. If Ruto was watching, he saw what many analysts are now calling the rise of a formidable duo. Both men are young, educated and fearless. They understand the power of social media. They know how to mobilize, and most importantly, they have the crowd behind them. For a government that thrives on controlling the narrative, this sudden wave of youthful energy poses a serious challenge. The death of Raila Odinga has ironically breathed life into a new political force. The ODM youth wing, long dormant and disorganized, now has leaders who can inspire and command loyalty. Sifuna and Babu Owino have not just filled a gap, they have revived a dream. Their rise is a warning shot to the political establishment. The streets have spoken and their message is clear. The struggle Raila began has not died. It has simply changed hands. And if the mood at Kasarani and Parliament is anything to go by, the future of Kenya's opposition politics has already found its new voice.
To me, Baba was like a father figure. Baba was so close.
President Ruto may have thought Raila's death marked the end of an era. Instead, it may have just marked the beginning of another, one louder, bolder, and driven by the youth who refused to be silenced.